A US court has blocked Donald Trump from imposing sweeping tariffs on imports in a major blow to the president's economic plans. The US president issued tariffs on countries across the world in April in an attempt to make America wealthy again. Here to tell us more about this is our reporter Mahathir Pasha. Mahathir, this happened while we were sleeping. Tell us what happened.
Well, Nina, as you say, certainly a huge blow for the man who's famously described tariff as his favourite word, as a US federal court rules his sweeping global tariffs on imports are illegal. You'll remember the day these measures were announced, on April the 2nd, dubbed Liberation Day, where he applied a blanket 10% import tax on almost every country. But today, the Court of International Trade, based in New York, has delivered its verdict, saying the emergency law the White House used to justify these particular tariffs does not give the president the unilateral authority to impose tariffs on nearly every country. The court ruled the US Constitution gives Congress exclusive powers to regulate commerce with other nations, and this is not superseded by the US president's remit to look after and safeguard the economy. Now, tariffs must typically be approved by Congress, but Trump had argued he had the power to act in this way because it was a national emergency. Important to note, though, Nina, this verdict does not apply to a separate set of tariffs, which Trump also announced. These are the industry-specific set of taxes on things like steel and aluminium, as they fall under a separate law.
OK, so it's a complicated picture. This is a developing story. We've had some reaction there. What more reaction has there been so far?
Well, as you might expect, a furious White House responding, saying it's not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency as it launches an appeal to this verdict. Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, criticised the court on social media, characterising this as a judicial coup that is out of control. On the other hand, Democrats are celebrating the ruling. One senator saying, "I argued from the start that Donald Trump's claim that he could simply decree sky-high new taxes on imported goods depended on mangling the Constitution beyond recognition." And the all-important markets have actually reacted quite positively to the ruling.
OK, we don't know how this is going to end, but so far, what's been the reaction in terms of what does it mean for the UK and for the rest of the world?
Well, economists have expressed fears that tariffs could exacerbate inflation and possibly lead to a global recession. So anything that blocks those tariffs and prevents them would largely be welcomed by them. For the UK, it's a bit more complicated. The UK has been hit in two ways, two different sets of tariffs. One was the blanket 10% tariff that I've already mentioned on all goods entering the US, and that was implemented in April. The second is the industry-specific ones, 25% tariff on steel, aluminium and cars. So today's ruling means the 10% tariffs could effectively disappear, but it won't apply to the industry-specific ones. I mean, now the UK government will probably say it's a good thing we secured a deal with the Donald Trump administration earlier this month on those industry-specific taxes, but the exact terms of those deals are still unclear, and people are still waiting for them to be implemented. No idea when they will be implemented at this stage. So it's leaving businesses in a state of uncertainty.
Yeah, yet more uncertainty. So what might happen next?
Well, as you say, Nina, it's still early days and the picture isn't entirely clear. The Court of International Trade has given the White House 10 days to complete the process of removing almost all of those tariffs mentioned. But with the Trump administration saying they are going to appeal the verdict, a legal battle is now probably going to ensue, and a different court may take a different view. It does throw into chaos all the ongoing trade negotiations the US government is currently having with dozens of countries, and ultimately this could significantly curtail the economic stick Donald Trump was hoping to beat some countries with.
Mahathir Pasha, thank you very much. Thank you.